Welcome to my channel to everyone who's new here, and of course to those of you who are back again, great to have you here. In this video we will take a look together at possible scenarios for the price development of Render, TAO, Kaspa and ONDO. Things remain exciting, so make sure to watch until the end. And I have currently a campaign with Bitunix, so if you use my referral link, which you can find in the video description, and if you deposit the certain amount of money, then you get a futures bonus. And this futures bonus you can use to open some trades. And if you lose, then you don't lose your own money, you are going to lose the futures bonus. You will also get on top of that 20% discount on the fees from Bitunix, and in my video description you will also find a referral link to mexc. So if you want to trade on mexc, then you will also get there a 20% discount on the trading fees. So let's jump into Render. So with the push of 2 days ago, with this push here, we have filled 50% or even 60% of the fair value gap. So this big circle was a fair value gap. We got there halfway. So basically we can take this one out. Afterwards, I have also told on YouTube that I'm going to open long positions, and these longs are just for a bounce and speculative, because I want to catch the falling knife and I want to go for the fair value gaps which we have built over us. And yesterday I've also said, I did another community post to keep you updated on my trades. So basically I've said that I opened some small long trades 2 days ago. And I've also said yesterday that I closed all my long positions because we went into fair value gaps. We are at resistance and we didn't see any kind of pullback for several hours. So I expected a pullback coming in. I've also said that I didn't see any kind of chart patterns and structures, so I didn't do an update yesterday. So, when was it? Here, right here. I have did the community post, long. And right here, out of the trade. That's what I have done for almost every coin, because I didn't trade Bitcoin and XRP. I have also said why in the Bitcoin and XRP update. So basically this was very tasty, 9%, and some coins even did 10 to 12%, so it was crazy yesterday. Anyway, why did I do it? We are at resistance here, and we didn't see any kind of pullback. As you can see, this is a V-shaped recovery. And afterwards, 2 hours after my community post, we even got the pullback. That's why I've taken profits, because I don't know, we didn't break to the upside. We don't have any kind of chart structure which are telling me the way to the upside. It can also just be like this. So that's why I've saved myself. For AVAX, for example, if we look into that coin, I've taken profits here. Afterwards the coin made this. So basically not every coin went that well, but yeah, it was still nice. So what about now? Render is on a good way if we hold the support at $3.85, and we are currently getting, I don't want to say a candle close lower than that, or the first sign of weakness, because the candle didn't close yet. In 24 minutes it's going to close, and then we have to see, is the candle going to close lower than $3.85? If yes, then it would be the first sign of weakness, and we can drop to the downside. But if we, for the next minutes get even a bit lower, but we get bought up very fast and the candle does not close lower than $3.85, then this is an inverted head and shoulders formatation with its target at $3.98. I would even say we have the chance going up to $4. Afterwards we have to see if we break the $4 to the upside, then I can imagine getting into the length of the head from the inverted head and shoulders formatation, which is at $4.24. We also have resistance at $4.31, so I can imagine in that area Render's going to go if we break the $4 to the upside. So if we just sell off and we lose the $3.85 and we get lower than the lows here, price mark $3.73. If we break it to the downside, that's why I will make this one here red, then I think we have a good chance getting even a newer low, even down to $3 for render. The targets are still ongoing. If we zoom out, then you can already see that we had here in rectangle, which broke to the downside. We had here a bear flag in bright blue, and we had here in dark blue a triangle bearish pennant. Three chart patterns are targeting the area between $3.23 to $3, where we have a huge fair value gap. So 3 targets into a huge fair value gap. If that is not going to happen, then we got very lucky. Or even unlucky, depending on from which side we are going to see it. But the chances are very high that we are going to meet this area. And it doesn't matter if we just push to the upside and sell off afterwards, or if we sell off now and push from here to the upside. If we want higher prices, which are going somewhere in this area or even far more, then I would actually prefer getting the pullback now. Because if we get now the pullback, or in the next days for example, and we fill the fair value gap at $3, then we don't have any kind of risk to sell off in that area, because then we took the liquidity in that area. But if we get a push to the upside, then I would be even more careful, because it can just get into the area again and afterwards even undershoot it, because then the bear market started. I don't want to make anyone getting nervous or something. We are still far away from that scenario, but it might be even possible that we just get a push to the upside, everyone thinks we are bullish again, and then the bear markets just started. That's why I want to see the $3 getting filled. The fair value gap at $3 should get filled, and then we can push to the upside without any fear getting lower prices than $3 afterwards, because there is no liquidity lower than $3. So why should the market get there? So let's jump into the next coin. What about TAO? I think that TAO has one scenario. I don't want to say two, one scenario, and I think this is very realistic. We have already said $342 to $348 is realistic for TAO to get, and we got there. So I can take this one out, this one too, and this one too. So this red trend line as well, because we broke it to the downside here. Here was the breakout to the downside, here was the retest, here was the follow through into that area which I just deleted. I can take this one out as well, we don't need that trend line. So I think we have one scenario in mind. This is a rising wedge which should break to the downside. This rising wedge, if we want to be bullish, is not going to get here. It's just going to get a higher low on the chart. So this is a low, this is a higher low, and then we have an inverted head and shoulders formatation, which we then break to the upside. That's the scenario which I have in mind. Then there is another scenario which is also realistic, but that would not include the inverted head and shoulders formatation. It might be possible that the rising wedge is going to drop into the target, and then we have a double bottom pattern and break it to the upside afterwards. I also need to tell you a more bearish scenario where we sell off into the target of the rising wedge. We even sell off more, get a bounce there, and get then a shoulder head shoulder formatation. This one here. So the only scenario which I have in mind at the moment is that we get a push to the downside, and then we have the inverted head and shoulders formatation, which we afterwards break to the upside, and then we can expect higher prices. So the green trend line on the chart, since we didn't break it earlier, this green trend line, it was green because we were somewhere here, and if we would have broke it to the upside, then it would be good again. But since we didn't break it to the upside yet, and it got a bit later, I don't want this trend line to be green anymore. I want the resistance at $388 green. So if we break the $388 to the upside, then we have to see what did we form lower than us. Did we form a higher low? Then the inverted head and shoulders formatation is going to get in play. Did we get a low right here? Then the double bottom pattern is going to get a play. Or did we get a low somewhere here and then afterwards here? Then the bigger head and shoulders formatation is going to get in play. So it just depends on where TAO is going to drop before breaking the $388 to the upside. And then we can take the target. So the target of the inverted head and shoulders formatation, we would put it like here. The target of the double bottom pattern is going to be something like this. And the target of the head and shoulders formatation can even be, if we are in the most bullish case, like this. So afterwards, we just have to think about what is going to happen, where do we get our low, and then we can actually get an orientation where the price is going to go afterwards. So I don't have anything more to say for TAO. So let's jump into Kaspa. So we had 2 days ago a trend line on the chart. It was this one here. With the low which we got, it's just got a panel. This panel broke to the upside. I think that we have the good chance even getting up to 9 cents. But I want to see the bright blue trend line breaking to the upside, which is currently the 9.2 cents. I will tell you why, and that's why I will make this one first white. This one too. So if we break the 9.2 cents to the upside, then this was just a double bottom pattern and we can push to the upside. So for Kaspa, I think, we had this panel, we pushed to the upside. We can go to 9 cents. We can even go to 9.2 cents, somewhere in this area. But if we lose, it's difficult now, because if we lose the 8 cents, then it's going to be bearish again. So basically we can't do anything beside waiting for the 8 cents breaking to the downside, or for the 9.2 cents breaking to the upside. Everything which we get here is useless to me. It's useless to me unless I see some chart patterns, like for example the panel, like for example here a possible head and shoulders formatation, which I can trade afterwards because we break it then to the downside and can reach for prices down to 8 cents. It's just an example. Can happen. Very realistic. But as long as I don't see it, I don't gamble it. So I can move on to the next coin, which is ONDO. So I think that ONDO has a good chance pushing to the upside. This can also be an ugly inverted head and shoulders formatation. Broke to the upside, we already got to the target of one shoulder because the shoulders are small, but we still have the target ongoing for the head. And that's the fair value gap between 89.28 cents to let's say 87 cents. So with this push to the downside here, we filled, I would say, 70% of the fair value gap, which we have said is going to get filled. Since we broke here to the downside and got a retest, I took profits far too early because I didn't expected this push to happen very fast, but we have also said afterwards, this was I think 2 days ago when we were somewhere here, that we can get very fast a sell-off into that fair value gap and fill that. Anyway, I can take this one out, this red trend line. I can take this out, and this, and this, and this, and this. So if we get our nice push into the 87 cents and we get a pullback afterwards, then this can also be an head and shoulders formatation. Or we break the 80.5 cents to the downside. That's why I make this trend line red. And afterwards get into the fair value gap again before we get this push to the upside. So ONDO is long for me as long as we hold the 80.8 cents, and would increase my position size once we break the 87 cents to the upside. If we break the 89 cents to the upside, then I would say we have still resistance over us. For example, this resistance block here, which you can see in purple. But I think the way is free up to $1 for ONDO. So as you can see, we already have seen some chart patterns, not for every coin, but for at least, I would say, half of the coins have some chart structure, have developed it. So basically tomorrow and the days after, I hope it's going to get far better, where we get more chart patterns, where we collect more chart patterns, where we can predict the price development far better. For now, it's just, it can be an inverted head and shoulders formatation. It can break to the upside before, it can break to the downside, and we don't know where the price is heading to, because half of the coins did their breakouts, half of the coins didn't even have the structure to say when we are going to break out. But it's a bit more clearer today. And tomorrow and the days after, I'm very positive. I think that, yeah, we will be on track again, because we have already found this push to the downside. We have already tracked it before, and now we have to wait, be a bit patient. We will find new trading opportunities very soon, where the market situation is very clear. Now it's, we don't know. It can be, it can always be. So with that said, we will see each other hopefully tomorrow with new chart patterns and with far clearer price development. See you tomorrow.